Alright, taking a look here at Brandon Talezac. This is Adrian Gonzalez here, Ryan Adams, Baltimore Orioles down here at the bottom working in the facility. Um, Brandon, again, like I've told you, I like your swing a lot. It's, a classic smooth lefty swing. It's very fluid. The overall pattern is outstanding. Through contact, you get good drive from your backside, and you stay leveraged behind the front side. And we have a pretty nice clean line there. So there's a lot of good stuff going on with your swing. Okay, just a nice fluid. You load before release. The swing is one fluid throwing motion. That's what we want. The foundation is one fluid throwing motion. Back leg always loads before release. You always unload before the heel drops. When the ball's about halfway there, you get off the back. You stay behind the front. Hands work pretty good through there. So again, the overall pattern is outstanding. Okay, let's look at again our three areas: back leg, back arm, and how strong is that front side we're hitting behind. Back leg, back arm, front side. Let's take a look at the back leg first. And again, Brent, I don't know if you realize this or not, but you've always kind of had some, an active back foot there. You can see on this swing, you kind of do a little tap forward, and then that kind of starts your loading pattern. I don't have a huge problem with it. It may be something you don't really see that much at the professional level, to where someone does a whole lot with their back foot once they get started. Maybe something you want. It might affect your timing initially to change that also, but it may be something you want to kind of work out of. As we continue to look at the back leg, that knee kind of, as you load, tends to kind of get on top of that back foot. As we look at Adrian here, that knee stays in front of that back foot. Okay, and there's not a whole lot of activity in the knee, meaning it really doesn't move much. We don't want to see this knee kind of move all over the place. It stays pretty much right there, right where it starts, and it doesn't straighten or bend anymore. It kind of stays the same in terms of, it doesn't straighten, it doesn't flex anymore. Okay, so we may want to settle that back leg down a little bit. That's a good bit of activity going on there. Again, Brandon, if you watch the student DVD video on my YouTube channel, the back leg has two simple goals. It's just to load and then laterally or sideways unload into that front side. So that may help you simplify it. All you really have to do is get that leg ready and then let it press sideways into the ball there. Okay, and the overall function of your back leg is good. You certainly load it. You may be complicating that a little bit, and then you certainly laterally unload it. There's good lateral driving press into that front side, and that good lateral press, the way your legs work, is really why a kid of your size is hitting the ball as hard as you're hitting it. So in other words, you're not able to just use upper body to get it done. You're going to need good quality leg action, and you do that. Okay, so there's good sideways drive there, and that's really all the back leg does. The any turning of the back leg, that really is all passive. In other words, the real work of the back leg is done right after that heel drops. This leg is pressed, and that back leg has really finished its work. Okay, so it's just it's a load and a lateral unload. Boom, right there. Boom. All right, let's take a look now at the front side. And you get that foot, pretty high up in the air there. Adrian uses a pretty high leg kick, and you're getting up there higher than him. you know, again, the overall function of your legs is really good. You know, even with, you know, kind of again like we talked about what the back foot is doing, and a lot of activity gets you going. So you know, again, you may in getting rid of some of this, you know, extra or maybe even unnecessary activity, you may find some disruption in your timing, but it may be something you want to look at. Really, again, with the front foot, Brandon, you want to really feel like the back leg controls it. The back leg just, you know, pulls it up. If you look at Adams here, really that's you know how I try to go about teaching it, is let the back leg pull it up, and then as the back leg goes, it puts it down really in the same way that we started. When you land, that leg's in a pretty good position. Not quite as square as our professional, so we can work on that. Again, you really want to start it square. You know, let's see how you start in your stance. See how square it is in your stance? Knee is bent and firm. And we really want it to land that same way. Let the back leg pull it up, and let the back leg put it down. Okay, should be a little more square there. Staying with the front side, we could probably increase, you know, a little bit of our angle on our tilt here. In other words, with the shoulders, a little more tilt, a little less turn. Okay. Again, you know, as you know, our professionals are making contact here with the ball. You know, their chest is more on the contact position. You're a little more open there. Okay. So we want to feel like you know, our chest isn't out at the pitcher so much as it is more on the ball there. Okay, and then with our hands, we'd really like to see those hands turn over, you know, immediately, you know, after contact. Feel like those hands are working through contact. We talked about this a little bit. You know, you're kind of pulling that barrel around the corner with that lead arm. Want that lead arm to stay longer as those hands snap over, and not try to pull the bat in a circle over there. So in summary, on the front side, you know, let let the back leg, you know, pull up the front foot, let the back leg put it down. We really want to let that front side, we want it to land the same way it started. You know, and again, go back and watch the student DVD and see what we want there. So stay square on that front foot, and more tilt, and a little less turn, you know, out of the torso there. Okay, and really feel those hands finish through contact. Stay long with the lead arm, your right arm, Brandon, and finish those hands. Okay, looking at the last of the three, the throwing arm. Okay, the top hand or the top arm, in this case your left arm, Brandon. And again, this is something we've looked at for some time. And again, when as your elbow begins to work toward the ball, or when your elbow begins to slot, you really widen here, and then we get you know, that palm up position that is going to flatten our bat here more than we really want. Okay, so you know, you've got the palm up and the wide elbow that's causing it. If you look at Adrian and Ryan here, you know, to kind of start loading that arm, they have a little bit more of a lift, or a little bit more active elbow action to kind of start things. You can see Adrian kind of does it before he waits, you know, because that elbow's got to go to the ball. Okay, so to kind of get ready for that, we want to kind of work in the opposite direction, or kind of load it and then go. Okay, and when it slots in there, again, we want it to be very bent, and we want that hand here. Okay, so we really want to launch from this position. Okay, from here, not quite that wide, and we certainly don't want you know, that bat down here. Okay,